My name's Temple Grandin. I'm a professor of animal science up at Colorado State University and went to my office at the Animal Science Building at Colorado State University. Well, I've lived in Colorado for 21 years. I got my PhD at the University of Illinois, and then I wanted to find a university where I could work part-time so I could still do my livestock handling consulting. And I really like the West. Well, I do a lot of talks, autism talks, and I talk about the importance of early intervention. I'm an extreme photorealistic visual thinker. In other words, everything I think about, there is a picture. You know, I was shocked to find out when I wrote one of my earlier books, Thinking in Pictures, that most people don't think in pictures. You know, I was a severely autistic kid. And in the 50s, severely autistic kids just got put away in institutions, and mother could see that I was improving. See, autism is a very big continuum. You got the Asperger's, which is just sort of the milder autism, the geeks and nerds. But I had severe speech delay. I was not fully verbal until age 4. And mother fought against all the people that wanted to just sort of put me away, and because she could see that I was gradually improving. Well, I found making things I really liked doing that. Even as a very young child, I remember finding a kind of a pastry doily from a cupcake that was blowing around outside, and I scotch taped a piece of thread to it and put a piece of crepe paper on for tail, tied it to the back of my trike, and I could get it to fly behind my trike. When I was a very young child, I used to say, I'm going to be a scientist when I grow up. And one of my favorite books in 4th grade was a children's book on famous inventors. And my grandfather, on my mother's side, is an MIT-trained engineer and co-inventor of the automatic pilot for airplanes. Well, when I was in high school, I was absolutely into horses. That was really a big thing for me. And when I first moved out to Arizona, the handling of cattle was atrocious. I wanted to learn more about that, so I started visiting all the feed yards. That's where I did the work on looking at what makes the animals balk. A big amount of my consulting has been with the meat industry. I've done 2 kinds of consulting. Designing facilities for them. It's been one kind of consulting. And the other kind of consulting is just helping them with handling problems. I've also done consulting on the animal welfare auditing. I've worked with a lot of major restaurant companies and large buyers on setting up their animal welfare programs. One of the things that I had to do was make myself the very, very best technically, so I would know more about it than anybody else. One of the things you got to do if you want to innovate is you've got to put in sustained long periods of time. It's not like a single big battle. It's like a slow, steady slog. Then what happens is there'll be doors of opportunity. I call it the steel getting soft. And when the steel is soft, I can bend it. And there's other times when the steel is hard and I cannot bend it. Well, I'm very proud to be inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame. And I just want to give some words of advice. If you want to do something to bring about change, it takes long, sustained effort. It's not just some sudden burst. It's something you work on for a long time. And you've got to keep your eyes on a goal. You know, when I was at Arizona State University, somebody had scribbled on the wall of the art building that obstacles are those terrible things you see when you take your eyes off the goal. You don't want to get into situations where you win a battle, but then you lose the overall war. You know, I might be in a plant, the plant manager might be a jerk, but I'm not going to fight with this guy because that would interfere with my overall goal.